Hi everyone. You're having lunch with Laura and with Ziggy. She wanted to say hi to you today. She likes to get up here and sit with me while I stamp or watch my soaps with me. So I'm going to put her back down and talk to you about what we're going to do today. Okay. She doesn't want to get down. I know what will lure her. I'll give her a little treat. Okay, there you go, sweetie. Okay, I hope all of you are doing well. And I've got a cute card to show you today that is one of our celebration sets. So let me let you take a look and see what we're going to make today. This one is called Catching Butterflies. Now, I only know of one person, and I think there's an actress that do not like butterflies. I think they're crazy because I just love them and I think they're adorable. So this set is for the other 99.999% of people that like butterflies. So the little girl has a butterfly net. She has some sentiments here that tell you to celebrate every beautiful thing and collecting sweet thoughts of you, and you make my heart happy. So, this is celebration time at Stampin' Up. We are having celebration. It started January the 4th, and it runs through the end of February. So, anytime you spend $50 or more in merchandise in one of our catalogs that's current, you will get something for free. And there, I showed you this last week, so there are a lot of really cute things. They've got coordinating paper with some of the sets that are in the mini, and this one happens to be the set, so you can get it for when you spend $50. They also put in the catalog some cute little samples that you can use, or you can case one of the other ones. And if you don't know what casing is, that means copy and share everything. And we use this a lot in the stamping world. I get a lot of ideas off of Google or from other demonstrators, even my customers. And when I don't have the same set, I'll swap it for a different set, or maybe I don't like the colors they use and I prefer to use something else. So then you can do that. But you're getting the idea from somewhere else and you're copying it and then you're going to share it. So let's see what we can do today with this one. This one is a red rubber clear mount that goes on our lucite blocks. And before I talk to you about the colors I'm using today and everything, I wanted to show you our black inks. Oh, and before I forget it, if you're interested in placing an order, here is the January host code. And be sure to check out my website at stampinatthebirdnest.com. You can go there to shop. You can look at my gallery and see a lot of cards that I've made and posted with the instructions and the supplies. And then you can contact me if you need to. There's a place on my website where you can get things from Stampin' Storage. And I just realized I have my earbuds in. So I took those out. Now I can hear better. So anyway, let's take a look at how I stamp this. This is black ink, as you can see, and we offer two different kinds of black ink. We have our Stays On ink, and I made notes to myself so that I remember that that's the one that we use with watercolor, and that's the one I'm going to be using today. The other one, I have not cleaned it up recently, but it's called the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. I think that's the whole title of it. And you can use that with our blends. Now, this is my most favorite ink, and I use it 99% of the time. I am not a fan of StazOn, but it has its place. And today, I'm going to show you about that. The two things I want to remind you, anytime you have ink that is not in one of our Stampin' Up cases, let me get one to show you. You need to store them upside down so that the ink flows to the top of the pad. On the ones that are made by Stampin' Up, ours have the pad that when you go to close it, it's upside down. So you store them right side up. Now, the one thing I find, I'm going to move this out of the way while I'm talking to you about StazOn. The one thing that I find is that I often have to re-ink StazOn. If you've never re-inked any of your ink pads, the best way to do it is you can either do dots or you can, that was my husband, or you can do lines, however you want to do it. Then you see how it's starting to absorb into the pad. But to make it even and get it spread throughout the pad, I take a popsicle stick, a craft stick. You can use a spoon, a knife, whatever. But I just use this and then just throw it away. And I go back and forth just like I'm icing a cake. And I go both directions, and that kind of gets it throughout the ink pad. And then, like I said, I just toss that in the trash, and I'm done with it. Okay, now let's take a look at our card right quick. I'm going to, I wanted you to see that the net and the little girl's dress are DSP, or Designer Series paper. So I want to show you how to do that. And it's so easy that you won't believe it. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and we are using Flirty Flamingo for the base of the card. And it is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 5.5. And you can either do it sideways, portrait, or landscape. And today we're going to do landscape. So there's going to be the base of our card. I'll set that aside for a moment. I'm using a piece of Very Vanilla. It is cut at 4 by 5.25. So the little girl, we're going to ink her up real well. And now that we have fresh ink, it should be a good print. So I'm going to put her right about there. I'm going to press down and pull straight up. Up. Okay. She did not. And I might need one of my little pads. I'm going to turn her over and re-ink my stamp. And I'm using our stamping and pierce mat. And sometimes on these larger stamps, to get the ink to go on the paper right in the middle, you need to be able to have a little bit of cushion there. So let's try that again. Okay, and I'm pressing down in the middle, and that's a much better print. So you can see compared to the other one. And remember, if you make a mistake, just turn over your cardstock. So we're through with that one. Oh, and I didn't mention this. There is a StazOn cleaner that you can rub right on the rubber and wipe it off. And that's the way you clean that off your stamps. Otherwise, I use Stampin' Mist and my cleaner, my pad. Okay, now we're also going to stamp the butterflies. again, I'm going to be using the Stays On ink. And we'll just put some right there. And she has a little shadow right down between her legs. So I put that there. And let's see. Then we're going to go ahead and put the greeting on. And where did I put the greeting? Here it is. Okay, and I chose the one that says, Collecting Sweet Thoughts of You. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. Okay, now, before we watercolor this, I'm going to set that aside and show you how to go about making the net and her dress. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pad again, and I just cut little pieces, or they were some that were randomly on there. And I'm going to ink up the net. Let me make sure I got all of it real good. And I'm just going to, let me turn it around that way. That'll be better. Okay, so now I have the net, which I almost missed my mark, but it's right on the edge. And I'm just going to let that dry a minute. And then you're going to get to fussy cut. And I have a friend that just groans when I tell her that we've got to fussy cut our project. But anyway, sometimes you just need to fussy cut. And I'm going to put her little dress on that pretty blue. And so there we have her little dress. Now, I'm going to close up my Stays On for the moment. And I wanted to tell you about our watercolor pencils. I haven't used these in a while, and I decided that this would be a good card to use them on, and that we could maybe I can show you some tricks with it. Okay, we have, let me use this one. I had a couple extras to use, and I don't need my pad anymore. Now, the watercolor pencils they're in the annual catalog, and they're on page 126. There are actually two set assortments. Assortment 1 comes with 13 pencils, and it's $16. Assortment 2 comes with 10 pencils, and it's $12.50. And the other thing that I'm going to be using today is on page 129, and it is our blender pens. They come 3 to a set. They have double ends, and they are $12, and they can be used with a lot of things. They can be used with inks. If you have a little place that just needs to have a little more ink, you can transfer the ink there. You can do it to smooth out the lines, and that's what I did in this. So the colors I'm using, I'm going to use Daffodil Delight for the little girl's hair, and I'm just kind of marking and going, because I'm going to take the blender pen in a second, and it's going to kind of smooth it all out. And so there we have her hair. And then on the butterflies, I just kind of randomly went over them. Just pulled out some different colors. This is the Flirty Flamingo that goes with the card base, same color. Oops. Then I just added some blues, greens, and do this one, that color too. And then we'll color the inside there. And let's just use another blue. Okay, this one, it does have their name on it. This one's Night of Navy. And, okay. So we've got our hair done and the butterflies. Okay, when you go to use the blender pen, I don't know if you can see this or not, but it is wet. It's got some sort of solution in there, and you can see how it just kind of covers everything. Okay, so see how it's all coming together there with the little girl's hair. Now, when you change colors, you need to, I'm going to go around right quick since I'm using the daffodil, but when you go to change colors, you need to clean your blending pen, and I just go back and forth until it shows up clear again, and then you can switch colors. I think I use the same color here. And the blue here. Now, so those of you that like to color, this is another good project for that. All right, after you have blended as much as you want to blend, the next thing we need to do is to cut out our little net. And if you're not good at cutting, I'm going to tell you what I used to tell my little kindergartners. I would tell them, like, if it was a straighter line, you could take a big bite. But then when you got to the curved parts, and I'll show you better on her dress. Oops, that did come just a little bit there. So I'll just get a little brown color, which I could have done anyway. And we'll just color right down in here, and maybe it won't be so noticeable. Yeah, I could use a little darker brown, so I'll fix that later. All right, so we have our little net cut, and what I'm going to do is just cut out the dress and the arms. So this is where the little bites come in. So you take a little bite, all the way around, and it just helps you control it better. If you need to go back, you can trim a little bit more. And then here's a little more of a straight line. And, hey, Miss Siggy. I feel her under my feet. Okay, and I'm going to go around the neck of her dress and get the other arm. Now, you can always just color in her dress, but I just thought this was so cute, and I wanted to show you how you can use your designer series paper for more than just the background. So I'm going to use our liquid glue and put it on each of the pieces of the designer paper. And I like using it when you're doing things like this because you can move it around just a little. And the same thing, I'm just going to put a little bit, I don't want so much that it squishes out when you press it down. Now, isn't that adorable? I just think she's so cute. So, now, put that away for a second. And let's put her on the front of the card. Now, this is a simple card, one that we use the acronym SIPs. You can use ink. Come on. That one doesn't want to do. Let me get this one. Ink, stamp ink paper. Okay, well, looks like you're going to get to watch me refill this. I don't know if you've ever done it or not, but we sell the refills for our stamp and seal. And on one of the cases, they're just a couple of little nubs. On the other, there are two little pointed pieces that fit right on the refill. And then you just close it up. Okay. So, there we go. Oops. And you need to make sure you have your card the right way so that you don't put it upside down. Have y'all ever done that before? I did it one time when I was demonstrating on my videos. Y'all found out that I'm not always perfect. Okay, now let me tell you, and I do not have the details with me, but we're coming out with some flesh colored blends, and I have the old ones, and I'm just gonna grab one of those to finish off her face and her arms and hands. So we're just going to put a little bit. And let's see, just going to color over her little face and ears. Go around her little eyes. Don't want to color them. Okay. Okay. So, there you go. Okay, she is finished. And on the inside, I wanted to just show you a little different way to kind of perk up the inside. I cut another piece. This designer series paper was in our last mini catalog, and it was the ice cream cone set. And I just happened, ice cream corner, I just happened to see when I was just flipping through looking for something for the brown net, I found that, and that's what I'm using here. And I just cut a 1 by 4 1/4 strip that I'm going to place right towards the edge, but not really on it. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp a different sentiment. This one says, "You make my heart happy." So this will be inside. Okay, and then there's that group of butterflies, and then there's this one single butterfly. And I'm going to put it on the same stamp that I had the little shadow on. And I'm just going to put a couple little butterflies around. So now you have the card. Collecting sweet thoughts of you. You make my heart happy. And then on the envelope, which I made a pledge to myself. I was going to show y'all the insides of the cards and the envelopes. I want you to get a bang for your buck here. So, I'm just going to stamp some butterflies on the corner of the envelope. And I did not do that very good. Oops, I'll have to get another envelope. And then right there. Okay. Now, you may choose to color these or not. And since I messed this one up, I'm not going to color it in today. But anyway, that would be your envelope that goes with your card. And you can leave them plain and not colored in if you choose to. So, everything goes. Now, I think I have given you all my hints today that I have. And I hope this inspires you maybe to use some designer series paper for some of your things. You know, you can always do it with, it doesn't have to be like a dress or something like that. It could be flowers or plants or anything that you can easily cut out. So have fun, try some different things, and I will see you week after next. I have something going on Thursday of next week, so I will be thinking about you. Hope you're thinking about me, and we'll see you coming up soon. So this is Lunch with Laura, Laura Lee Collet. I'm in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I put my website there so you could go and check that out, Stampin' at the Bird Nest. I hope you can read that. stampinatthebirdnest.com. And then I will also add the January host code on the things when I clean this up and post it to my YouTube channel. You'll see that there. And until I see you again, God bless, love you. Bye.